of the second half. Ladies and gentlemen, please go wild and crazy for the wonderful Mr. Adam Joyce.
Thank you. It's always lovely to be greeted by such a warm reception by a group of complete strangers. I've spent 5 years working as a bailiff, so you have to understand it's a very alien concept to me. I'm the ethnic portion of the evening. I've come from a little third world country. Some of you may have heard of it. It's called South England Sea. Nice positive reaction there. Room full of people who've obviously never been there.
I like it.
You do. I won't say I like it, but I do choose to live there. So for those who don't know, Southend, we're of course famous for having the longest pleasure pier in the world, just short of 1.5 miles. I find that's about the distance you want to be from the scumbags who hang out on the seafront. Unless you have a high-powered rifle, then I find you'll need about a third of the distance. I actually went down the end of Southend Pier for the first time in a few years last summer. The in-laws were over, they wanted to see the sights. When I was a kid at Southend Pier, used to have the traditional sort of seaside attractions, you know, the arcades, Ferris wheel, Punch Juicio, but Southend Pier has this habit of burning down a lot. So when I went down last summer, the only thing at the end of it was Jamie Oliver restaurant. I'm going with the theory is, if it burns down, at least we've lost nothing important. So like I said, I'm living down in Southend. I've recently bought my house. You say 27 grand is a bad decision to make. I'm 200 grand in debt, but I know in 20 years, once I've paid it off, I'll have some use for it. Very complimentary mortgage company too. They keep sending me these letters. Mr. Joyce, your statements are outstanding. I do try. It's part. I bought the house. It's part of this thing of I'm trying to sort of grow up a bit more, sort of hit my 30s and realise that cereal is not something that should be eaten as an afternoon snack.
Come on.
I'm trying to take myself more seriously as an adult. I'm trying to take my comedy career more seriously. I say that, you know, my comedy career at the minute is I've nicknamed the Never Ending Bigfoot Tour because I'm seen in such remote locations by so few people. Even I'm beginning to doubt my own existence. In fact, the only reason I wore this shirt out tonight was because I didn't realise there'd be this many people here. I do get booked in some weird gigs actually. I did this university gig a few weeks ago over in Bristol. My careers advisor said I'd never get to a good university. 14 years on, they're still right. Funnily enough, that went down almost as well in Bristol University for some reason. Which had me questioning, why are you still here? After writer actually gave me a really big compliment the other day. He said, Adam, you remind me of a great British comedian. I was like, really, which one? He was like, Tommy Cooper. I was like, really? What is it about me that reminds you of Tommy Cooper? And he's like, well, out of all the times I've booked you, hundreds of people have turned up and all watched you die on your ass. Just like that. But like I said, I'm trying to grow up a bit at the minute. I sat down with a girlfriend. We recently tried to expand the family a bit. I mean, not kids. We had that discussion. She just took one look at the comic books on the bookshelf behind me and said, "One's enough." I paused Mario Kart and everything, ready to have this conversation. So disappointed. So instead of having kids, we now have 2 dogs. Someone at a gig tried to convince me they're the same, they're not. Although as soon as we got them home, you know. One of the photos went up on Facebook. One of the women from my office said, so you got 2 fur babies there? Which is such a weird correlation. Pets and children are really not the same thing. I mean, mine are going to be on their own for a few hours this evening, and not for 1 second am I considering the lies. I'm going to have to tell the Portuguese police about it. I'm supposed to say we rescued these 2 dogs. I'm not quite sure how we rescued them. Being that, you know, they spent a nice couple of months running around some nice open farmland. They're currently cooped up in a 2-bedroom over in Southend. The place that we rescued them was a place called Basildon. I don't know if anyone here is familiar with Basildon in Essex. There is nothing more depressing than the sound of one person clapping. Although it's actually pretty apt, it's probably better than my punchline. So I think I might move on from that joke. I keep saying I'm sort of living with my girlfriend. I should be saying sort of fiance at the minute, because we are planning a wedding. Thank you. No, it's 6 weeks. It's 6 weeks away. So that's part of the reason I'm here tonight, because anyone who's ever planned a wedding will know home is the last place you really want to be. The venue we got came with a wedding planner. I thought the point of a wedding planner would be less stress. The most stressful thing about my wedding at the minute is the wedding planner does not want to communicate with us. All I can say is I'm looking forward to June 7th when I don't have to speak to the woman again. But no, like I said, so yeah, we're engaged. We got engaged last year on Valentine's Day. Because if you're not picked up already, I really am quite unoriginal. Yeah, I learned a very important life lesson that day. I'll never have any use for it, but I don't know if anyone around here is considering proposing. If any of the young lads are, let me share my life experience with you guys. If you're ever going to put the question, make sure it's the right one. And I should probably explain. When it came time to when it comes time to pop the question, we'd have a nice Valentine's Day evening out. We'd been out for the evening, I'd come home, cooked a nice meal. I'd really gone all out. I know all about disappointing Valentine's Day plans. I was born in mid-November. But yeah, so like I said, when it came time for me to pop the question, I feel like I went in slightly the wrong direction with it, being the pop culture nerd I am. One of the things I do is sometimes she'll say I love you and I'll quote Han Solo from the end of Empire Strikes Back. Now she doesn't particularly like me doing that, but she's learned to accept that. With the marriage proposal, I may have taken it a little bit too far. I don't know if anyone has ever seen the film Batman Mask of the Phantasm. But when it comes time for Bruce Wayne to propose to the love of his life in said film, he gets down on one knee, says, "I'm no good at this. So what do you say?" Now, I'm not saying I haven't heard the end of that, but it was only a year ago, so But no, every time we come to a wedding plan, whether it's the decorations, whether it's a venue, or whether it's any of those aspects, my girlfriend's always like, "Oh look, I found this. I think it would be perfect. So what do you say?" A brilliant insight into what I've got to look forward to for the rest of my life. I am coming to the end of my time, I'm pretty sure. So I would leave you on a joke, but let's face it, I've been up here nearly 10 minutes and no one is prepared for that anymore, are they? If I want to tell you a really good joke, before I got to stand-up comedy, I was in doing a lot of British wrestling stuff. Funnily enough, 10 years ago yesterday is when I did my first show. Really random thing that came from my Facebook timeline today. If I want to tell you a good joke, I tell you about how much I got paid for some of those gigs. But apparently I'm bound not to. Although for 6 straight months it was actually my full-time career, British wrestling cameraman. And I actually went to the Inland Review at the end of those 6 months when I finally got the job I've got now. Wrote down all my income, slid it across to the woman, and she just tapped me on the head. "Oh, bless." I will end on this one last story. Like I said, I used to work in British wrestling for years, and one of the last gigs I did was I was emceeing a little show down in Wimbledon. The promoter thought there'd be a big crossover between tennis fans and wrestling fans. I'm not saying he was wrong. His box office did though. Screamed that fact quite loudly. But still, comes to the end of the night, so all the fans have gone home, we're packing up like the ring and the entranceway and everything all into the van, and this one guy sort of walks past me, takes one look at me, slaps 10 quid at me and says, "There you go son, don't spend it all on booze." Quite depressingly, I had seen that guy earlier that afternoon, in the high street, selling the big issue. Still true to my word, I didn't spend it all on booze. Local off license had an offer on, so I still had money left for chips. Well, I've met Adam Joyce. Like I said, I've come all the way from Southend to be here. It's cost me a lot of money, but it's still cheaper than therapy. Thank you. Thank you, Cambridge. It's been emotional.
Joyce, everybody.